Thank you everyone for joining us as we go over information about our university preparation and Alberta Foundation programs at MacEwan University's School of Continuing Education. My name is Debbie Lenton, and I am an English instructor for the program. I have with me Richard Pearsheets, who is the department chair. Our advisors are also here with us today, and they will be able to answer your questions in the chat. There will also be time at the end of the presentation if you have specific questions that were not addressed along the way. MacEwan University is the second largest university in Edmonton, Alberta. We are right in the heart of downtown, and we have almost 13,000 full-time students. The School of Continuing Education is located in MacEwan's newest building, Allard Hall, or Building 11, which was built in 2017 with brand new classrooms and technology. In this new building, there are student use meeting rooms, formal and informal study spaces, computer common areas, and increased access to student services and clubs. At the School of Continuing Education, we pride ourselves in our student experience and quality of instruction. Our school focuses on preparatory programs and professional development education, and we have over 300 course offerings with over 9,000 students enrolled in our school in a year. MacEwan University has a variety of supports and services in place to help students in every aspect of their lives. The Career and Experience Center offers guidance and advice and hosts a variety of events to help students navigate their career journey. The Q. Watson Indigenous Center has become a home away from home for Indigenous students where they can find personal, academic, and cultural support. Students can access free professional counseling through MacEwan's wellness and psychological services. We also have our access and disability resources that can be accessed by students to improve accessibility and remove barriers in the learning environment. And MacEwan's University Health Center provides students with access to physical and mental health care services. Not all academic pathways look the same through to a goal post-secondary program. The journey through upgrading is different for everyone and is based on their previous education and their current English language proficiency levels. Many of our students go on to pursue their post-secondary education here at MacEwan, but some students go on to the University of Alberta, NAIT, and other institutions. We encourage you to look at your goal post-secondary program and research what those admission requirements are to better understand what courses you might need to upgrade. At MacEwan, we have two different academic upgrading pathways, depending on what your goal program is and what type of upgrading you need. We have the University Preparation program and also the Alberta Foundation Program, AFP. And we will talk about the similarities and differences between these programs in the next few slides. Our University Preparation Program is open to domestic and international students, and we offer a full range of the core high school equivalency courses, which are prerequisites for admission to university and college programs, or skills training and apprenticeship programs. Students in university preparation have the opportunity to be immersed in a university level experience with instructors that have experience with adult education. And students that plan on continuing their studies at MacEwan after completing university preparation often find it's a smooth transition because they're already familiar with the campus and the student life here at MacEwan. These are the high school equivalency courses that we offer. We have a variety of the academic science, math, social studies, and English courses. And just a note that we do not have diploma exams. Our courses are Alberta Education Equivalency courses, which means that your final grades will appear on your MacEwan transcript, not your Alberta Education transcript. As we mentioned before, it's important to understand what the admission requirements to your goal program are so that you have a better idea of what you might need to upgrade. For example, English 30-1 is an admission requirement for almost all degree programs. So this is a very popular class that students are upgrading. If you're interested in a business program, there will likely be a 30-level math requirement as well, either Math 30-1 or Math 30-2, depending on which math stream you took in high school. Or if you've forgotten the foundations of algebra skills, then you might need to start with a lower level math and work your way back up to the 30 level. And many of MacEwan's programs are competitive, which means that you need higher averages in order to be accepted. Nursing is a good example of this. All students, even mature students, need an average between 90 to 95% to be considered for admission. So redoing some of the prerequisite courses to refresh your knowledge will allow you a better chance to achieve the high grades that are required at the 30-level courses. We also have the Alberta Foundation Program, or AFP, which is open to domestic students and designed to be a one-year program to address the gap between a student's current academic and language levels and the level needed for admission into a post-secondary diploma or degree program. This program is best suited for students that need a combination of language preparation and high school upgrading, but it's also beneficial for students that were educated outside of Canada and need upgrading to familiarize themselves with the Alberta curriculum and the Canadian post-secondary system. The Alberta Foundation Program allows students to take a combination of courses from the English as an Additional Language, EAL program, the University Preparation, UP program, and possibly a few open studies at the undergraduate level courses, if their language proficiency is high enough. The advantage of taking a few undergraduate classes is that this gives you a head start on classes that may be required in your goal program. Students in the AFP are also required to take the Foundations 101 course as part of the program requirements. If you are unsure whether to apply to UP or AFP, please contact us before you apply, and we can recommend which one might be best for you based on your previous education and your goal program. One of the highlights of the Alberta Foundation Program is the Foundations 101 course. All students will take this course as part of the program requirements, and typically they will take it in their first semester in the program. The Foundations 101 course provides academic understanding and skill development in 3 specific areas: learning strategies, educational technologies, and communication. This course can benefit students experiencing challenges with workloads, student expectations, communication, technology, and staying organized. Most of our upgrading classes are 80 minutes every day, Monday to Friday. We also have evening classes available for Math 30-1 and English 30-1. And these are 3-hour classes twice a week. The majority of our upgrading classes are scheduled in person on campus, but a few of the higher level courses also have online synchronous class options. Online classes use a platform called Mascanas, and synchronous means that students are expected to be online attending class at their regularly scheduled class time. This allows for meaningful interactions with the instructor and live classroom discussions with peers. All students have access to Mascanas through their student portal, so no additional software is needed to purchase. I will turn it over to Richard now, and he will give you some information about funding for the programs and the application process.
Thanks, Debbie. Students in the University Preparation Program can apply for Foundational Learning Assistance funding if they meet the eligibility criteria. Students can apply for either full-time funding or part-time funding, depending on how many classes they're enrolled in. Students enrolled in 3 classes are considered full-time, and students enrolled in 1 or 2 classes are considered part-time. If you are approved for funding, this will cover the cost of tuition, fees, books and supplies, and possibly living expenses, depending on your individual situation. And this is grant funding from the government, which means if you're approved for it, you don't have to pay it back. It's not the same as a student loan where you have to pay the money back when you're done. If you are a funded student, you must be regularly attending classes, doing well in them, and progressing to the next level, or your funding could be denied in future terms. Students in the Alberta Foundation Program can also apply for foundational learning assistance funding. However, only full-time funding is an option, and the maximum amount of funding available is 1 year or 3 terms. If you don't think you're eligible for full-time funding, or it might take more than 1 year of upgrading to meet the admission requirements to your gold program, then these are things you want to consider before applying to one of our preparatory programs. Once you're an active student and registered in classes in either UP or AFP, we will collect some information from you so that we can confirm your student enrollment for the government. Then the government will email you the link to your online funding application. Funding applications can be approved very quickly, but you will need a verified My Alberta Digital ID account, also called a MADI account, to access the online funding application. If you don't have a MADI account, we recommend that you start this process right away, because it will take up to 2 weeks for the Alberta government to verify your account. To verify your MADI account, you will need either an Alberta driver's license or an Alberta ID card if you don't drive. You need one of these specific pieces of photo ID to prove that you are a resident of Alberta. You won't be able to use a passport or a PR card to verify your MADI account. It must be a driver's license or an Alberta ID card, and it must be up to date with your current address. So there are lots of little steps that you can do now so that you're ready to apply for funding right after you're registered in your upgrading classes. These are the current tuition amounts for this academic year. In addition to the tuition amount, you can also expect to pay approximately $500 in term fees. These are mandatory fees for things like MacEwan Students Association, the UPass, Sport and Wellness, etc. The tuition is the same for a university preparation or Alberta Foundation student, no matter what classes they are enrolled in. So a student taking 3 courses can expect to pay about $2,200 for tuition and fees per term. But again, funding is available, and if you are approved for funding, then these costs will be covered. When you are ready to apply, you can visit our website at macewan.ca/up or macewan.ca/AFP and select admissions in the left navigation drop-down menu. Here, you can also double-check the admission requirements for the University Preparation or Alberta Foundation Program and confirm the dates and deadlines. All applicants must meet an acceptable level of English language proficiency for admission to our preparatory programs. Once you click Apply Now, you will be taken to the Apply Alberta website, where you can fill out and submit the online application. The application fee is $110 and is non-refundable. After you submit your application, you will be sent instructions for how to log in to your MacEwan student portal so that you can track the status of your application and access your new MacEwan Gmail account. Once you are admitted to the program, we will send you a welcome email to your new MacEwan email account, letting you know what your next steps are. First, we'll ask you what your goal program is. Next, we'll develop your education plan based on those admission requirements. Then, we'll help you enroll into classes. And finally, if you will be applying for funding, we'll collect your information so that we can confirm your enrollment for the government. These are some important dates and deadlines for the fall term. The application deadline for university preparation is August 31st, and the application deadline for Alberta Foundation is August 15th. September 1st is our deadline for funding, which means we will not confirm any more student enrollments for the government after September 1st. Although you should also be aware that our funding deadline is subject to change and funding might be exhausted prior to this deadline. So it is always best to apply early. Classes begin on September 6th, and the last day of class is December 8th. Final exams will be the following week, so everything will be finished by December 18th. The tuition payment deadline for fall term is September 29th. If you have applied for funding, but haven't received a decision by this date, you will need to pay the tuition amount yourself or set up a payment plan. If or when you are approved for funding, you will be refunded any tuition amounts paid. If your funding application has been approved by the tuition deadline, then your tuition and fees will be automatically paid by foundational learning assistance. We have a dedicated team to help our university preparation and Alberta Foundation students, and that includes myself, all of our instructors, 2 academic advisors, Kimberly and Terry, plus Rosemary and David, our program support. That's the end of our presentation. Thank you for joining us today. We now have time for questions.